Hey, Bob. I was wondering, remember that interview on the phone we were talking about on YouTube? Would you be willing to do that? Well, I can interview you right now, and I would put the microphone in my earpiece, and your voice will be on the camera. All right, here we go. Hold on. So, hey everybody on YouTube, Johnny Be Good here, along with my good friend Bob. Bob, say hello to YouTube.
Yes, hello out there in YouTube world.
Yeah. So Bob, how long you been trucking?
I've been trucking for 30 years.
30 years.
All as an owner-operator.
You never been to a company driver?
Never.
Never. Now, when did you start trucking? When you were an early young kid, or what?
Well, I'm 62 years old now, and I started in 1985, so I'm too old to do the math, but I guess I was somewhere around 30 years old. 30 years old it would be. That's
when you just got out of the Air Force, right?
No, I was still in. When I started trucking, I was still in.
You were in the reserves.
Right, okay. Reserve and the Guard. Because I went in the Air Force in 1970.
Okay, so while you were in the reserves, you invested yourself in the truck and trailer, or just the truck first?
First just the truck, and that's when I moved to Florida. I couldn't find a job, and I decided to go into the trucking business. And I actually started out with my own truck and my own trailer. It was a Reefer I was pulling. Had my own authority, and I hauled tropical plants from South Florida to Long Island, New York. That's how I learned to drive.
So, did you go to truck driving school, or how did you?
No. I just went out, and bought a truck and a trailer. I figured I could do it, and I've been doing it ever since.
Boy, I bet you can't do that anymore.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing that back then, a guy absolutely nothing knows about trucking, just go buy himself a truck and trailer, authority, and teach him how to drive, and here you go.
Yeah. Nobody would hire me as a company driver because I didn't have any experience. So I said I can buy my own truck and trailer and just do it myself. So that's what I did.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So you've been at it for, can you see yourself being, what was the first company you ever hauled for? Oakwood, I think I remember you said, right?
The first company was A&W Truck Brokers out of Daytona Beach, Florida. His name was Bill Patterson. Bill and his son Hank. And I started doing those tropical plants from Homestead, Apopka to Long Island, New York, and then I hauled out of Brooklyn, New York. I hauled office furniture back down to Miami, and that's all I did, back and forth, back and forth.
How long did you do that for?
I did that for about a year, and then I just thought that all owner-operators had their own truck and trailer and did their own thing, and did it for about a year, and then I found out I could lease on to these other companies that are out there, and I went ahead and parked my trailer, and I leased on to Colonial Freight. It was a refrigerated carrier out of, I think they were based out of Knoxville or Nashville, Tennessee. It's been a long time, but I started pulling one of their trailers because they said I'd make more money pulling theirs than pulling mine. So I did that for a while, and that didn't work out too well. And then
I bet it turned out to be a big fat lie, right?
oh yeah, so,
Yeah.
and then I ended up selling my trailer, my Reefer, and I started pulling dry box, and in my opinion, if that's the only way to go is the dry freight. I guess I'm lazy. I don't have to worry about tarping anything. I don't go to very many grocery warehouses, and I've been doing this dry box ever since. I don't have to worry about the Reefer running out of fuel or anything if I'm parked for the weekend. It's just been easier on me all the way around, and the revenue.
You don't have the cargo claims and temperature rejections and damage
Right.
and all that stuff. Yeah.
That's right.
Not to mention to change the compressor. Those things are what?
Right.
$4,000.
Yeah, that happened to me one year. I was up there in Forest Park, Georgia, on the south side of Atlanta, and I had loaded a load up there in Atlanta, and it was only going down to Cordell, Georgia. I loaded it on a hot summer day on a Friday, and it was delivered on Monday. And the unit froze up, and the only way to fix it, because the thing was completely loaded, was to take it right off the trailer and work on it. But I lucked out. I had two drops. I had the one there in Cordell, and then I had one down in Ocala, Florida. And I got them both off on Sunday, and I didn't have any claims, so I lucked out. But they wouldn't go into the frost cycle. It just froze up on me.
Nice. So I remember you were saying that you used to haul for Oakwood, right?
Yeah, they had plants all over the place, but there was a mobile home manufacturing plant in Pulaski, Tennessee, and I had two trucks on doing two dedicated runs, bringing, when they sell one of those mobile homes and they get it all set up, the technicians that are setting them all up and getting everything done, there's always something they need once they're in place. Maybe something happened in transit, a piece of sheetrock got damaged, the doorknob, or a piece of siding, or a shingle blew off, and I would go one way with one of my trucks, and I had another driver going the other way. And there was two dedicated runs. We each had probably 10, 12 stops, and I used two 48-foot trailers, dry boxes, and I would say in all the years of trucking, that was probably the best gig I ever had, because it loaded right there in my hometown where I was living, and it ended up back in my hometown. So, I was gone, like 4.5 days a week. So it was a pretty nice gig while it lasted. They went bankrupt.
The thing that I've always amazed about you was your frequent deliveries to New York City and the Bronx and Manhattans, and man, I remember every time I go to that New York, it always scares me to death. But you always seem to not mind that, and you've always somehow made money going into New York than most people. So
yeah, I would wait until like 9, 10 o'clock on a Friday when I was at the house in Tennessee. I'd wait until about 9 o'clock, and then I would post my truck showing available, willing to go to the Northeast. And back then, anyway, you could just about name your price if you were willing to go, because it was getting late and it had to be there for Monday. And guys just didn't want to go up there. They wouldn't go there. And I mean, I dreaded going into the city. I mean, I really did, but
the money was good, right?
The money was good, and you get used to doing it and what have you. I mean, it's like anything else. But I have no desire to go up there anymore. I mean, I don't go up there.
When was the last time you went up there? It's got to be, what, 3 years ago now?
Oh, yeah. At least 3 years, 4 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's from almost every day or almost every week you go up there.
Right. Yeah, he was up and down 81 in Virginia. I mean, it was 81. It's up there across 78 and 287, and I don't miss that at all. I understand right now that go across the George Washington Bridge, it's $100.
$100
to go across the GW.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
I think when I started.
Go ahead.
When I started going up there, I think it was like $35 or something, up to $100.
Wow. You know, Bob, there's always something that I've always been amazed about you was your ability to let me quote their phrases, take advantage of the brokers.
Oh.
You know how brokers take advantage of drivers. Well, you completely do that the opposite, or on them as much as they do with drivers. So my question to you is, what's the secret on pinching those brokers until, when they had to give until the last drop of blood they got? I mean, you've always had a knack of doing that.
Well, what I believe it is, and anybody can do it, what I believe it is if you're in a position where you don't have to go if you don't want to go, and you know that this is a fair rate and this is what you should be getting, you just stick to your guns, and that's what it is. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I mean, I've done it where I need X amount of dollars to move, and that's how it went. Because different times.
Uh-oh, I'm losing Bob. Bob? Hello? Oh, we just lost Bob. Bob is a very successful business driver, owner, operator, and we'll try to give him another call one of these days when we have a better reception. But yeah, Bob has the knack of squeezing every drop from a broker. Even C.H. Robinson. Oh, I tell you. Anyway. Hey everybody, Johnny B. Good here. Welcome to California. By the way of Interstate 15. We're going to go towards Las Vegas. And I know many of you have not yet seen me going through here. And I've been traveling on Interstate 40 for quite a while, and I actually kind of missed this view. So alright, looks like we have a cell back here. Let's see if we can't get Bob back on the line. That was Sprint. My love and hate relationship with Sprint. Anyway, so Bob, I've noticed that what you're saying is it helps when you're not under the gun. You don't have to run that run to make the car payment or the truck payment, and that's probably the biggest of your secret, right?
Yes, definitely.
Like you don't have to work that week to pay off the payments and all that stuff.
Right.
Okay.
There's a lot of this stuff out here. The drivers are out here because they got a big truck payment, insurance payment, house payment, and by the time everything's said and done, they're just running to pay all that stuff, and there's nothing extra. And I feel if you're self-employed and what have you, you should be making more than just to get by. I mean, you do a run, you should have money left over after everything's said and done to be able to bank something.
Yeah.
As I started to say this past weekend there, Thanksgiving, there was a load that was posted paying good money, but on Sunday they said, well, that was the holiday rate, and they had one load on Sunday also, and I said, I'll do it for the same rate they had it posted for Thanksgiving, and they couldn't do it. But they ended up calling me back, and we're talking $550 on less than 500 miles. More, that they ended up paying. They were trying to cut it by $550 because they said it wasn't the holiday. Which somehow, some way, they ended up calling me back, like I said, on a Sunday, and gave me the fund.
Isn't it amazing, Bob, when they say, well, I only got $300 in it, and then 30 minutes later they come up with another $300 more, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you've run into many occasions where brokers are like that. And say, oh, they give you the sweet, the sad song of, man, this is all we got in it, and then to your surprise, they call you back and they're up to $500 more.
Right.
Yeah. So what advice would you give newcomers, Bob? That a lot of these guys want to be an owner-operator and they're searching and asking questions to, what
well,
is your... Go ahead. If
you got a good business, and you got to think of it as a business, and that's what it is. It's a business. I mean, you're not going to work at McDonald's and you're getting paid, $6-7 an hour flipping hamburgers. This is a business, and if you want to make it, you got to make the right decisions.
So what you're saying, Bob, is you think of yourself as a businessman, and the driving part is just the tool, right? You don't think yourself as a truck driver on a business. You're a businessman, and then your truck driving skill is just your tool. I mean, right? I mean,
right. I mean, anybody can learn to drive a truck, but it's a matter of the business part. Being able to talk to the brokers, talk to the shippers, the receivers, doing the computer work. I do everything out of the cab of the truck. I do all my billing and everything. I mean, I do everything out of the cab of the truck.
Yeah, you use that Hammer Lane program, driver's daily log.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And in all these years of trucking, okay, I've never gotten gypped, burnt on anything. Everybody has always paid me. There's never been a broker, shipper that has not paid. So, that's another thing, doing your homework as far as looking at the credit reports and all this and that, to know that this is somebody that you can do business with, because once you get the load and you deliver it, I usually wait anywhere from 2 weeks, and I've waited as long as 8 weeks, 9 weeks to get paid. I mean, it's just one of those things, but I've always gotten paid. I've never gotten shorted. And I don't think too many can say that, as far as a single owner-operator type, never get shorted,
What's your opinion, Bob, on these brand spanking new, fresh out of truck driving school, young guys? The very first thing they want to do is, go lease a brand new truck and lease it with this humongous companies out there. Hey, what's your take on that?
Well, I don't think I'd do any leasing. I wouldn't lease a truck. I don't know anything about leasing, but everything I've heard, it's not the way to go. You need money. You can't just go into the trucking business and not have any money. When I went into the trucking business, I had some money put aside. I didn't have a big truck payment, didn't have a big trailer payment. I did have payment, though. I didn't pay cash for the first truck and trailer. But I had about $10,000 over and above to keep me afloat.
That was your emergency money kind of a thing, right?
Well, that was the money I operated on, because you got to wait to get paid. And all the years of doing this, I've never ever taken an advance. Where you have to pay the 3% or 5%, what they call quick pay. Never done that. Always ran off my own money. Always have waited, and have always gotten paid.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't go lease a truck. I would, if I was new to it in the business, I'd be a company driver probably for a couple, 3 years and learn the ropes. And then if you can save money as a company driver, then I'd be looking into becoming an owner-operator possibly.
So those first 3 years as a company driver, being able to save money is somewhat your proving ground, whether you're disciplined enough to save money or to make it as an owner-operator, right?
Right, because you're out there as a company driver. If you're making 45, 50 cents a mile, you should be able to save some money. You've got no expense other than feeding yourself out on the road. It's not. And the other thing is, as far as owner operator goes, it's not the miles. You're not looking to run miles. You're looking to run the good steady and loads. I'm happy going 200-300 miles a day if the revenue's there. I'm not looking to run a lot of miles. This was probably one of my busiest years. I've probably got close to 60,000 miles in this year. I don't usually do more than 50,000 miles, but it's been a good year, and things are good.
You don't miss the over-the-road stuff like you used to?
No, not at all. I enjoy doing what I'm doing, and I'm kind of just dedicated to doing what I'm doing, and staying down in the southeast, and it's been great. It's been great.
How far?
I was going to retire. I was going to retire, but things have been so good. The truck is still good. I'm gonna go one more year, and then I'm gonna retire.
One more year. Wow.
Yeah.
Bob, how far west did you ever driven? I know you've been to Texas.
El Paso. Never been past El Paso.
That's it.
That's it.
How about like Nebraska?
I've been, if you were to draw a line due north, you know, I've been up Minot, North Dakota, I guess, and everything back east. But, you know, that's the other thing, you know, why run all over creation? You only can run so many miles a day. The loads don't pay anymore to be able to run coast to coast. Why not just find an area and stay in that area? And that's kind of what I've been doing. I just, you know, I enjoyed running out to Texas, Oklahoma, and back east. I just don't run all over creation. I don't see what there's a need.
Now, I know, you know, one of the most frustrating things that drivers can't stand is to sit in a truck stop for days and days waiting for a load. Well, I've noticed that you're willing to sit in a truck stop waiting for that load, that sweet load, you know, rather than just, well, you get sick and tired of waiting in a truck stop, so you'll just pick up any load just to get you out of there, right?
Well, I mean, sometimes you have to do that, depending upon the area you're in, but if you're in a good area and there's a lot of trucks, obviously they're gonna take the cheapest guy that's willing to move. You know, I like to think come 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you got a better chance of getting out of there because you know, all the cheap trucks have been taken. So I've sat you know, 2 and 3 days waiting for the right load. But sometimes you got to take that cheap load just to move to the next spot. That's all.
Yeah. Bob, which load program? I knew you used to use getloaded.com, and what was the other one? Truck Stop Internet?
Yeah, I use Internet Truck Stop all the time now.
Truck Stop. What about Get Loaded?
Yeah.
You're done with that?
Yeah, I don't use that anymore. Not for what I do. I found Internet Truck Stop to be much better.
Okay.
Plus, with the Internet Truck Stop, they have that credit check, so I pay extra for that. But I could see the credit report for the companies I'm going to haul for.
Now, Bob, you do your all your billings and receipts and faxing, and how do you do that in your truck?
I've got a scanner. I used to have a fax and everything in here, but I did away with that fax. Anymore, just about everybody's gone email. Everything's email. Nobody really faxes anymore. It's all email. So, which makes it much nicer because it's a lot faster than faxing something. And yeah, I carry 3 laptops in the truck because you're always going to have a backup. I carry 2 printers and I carry 2 scanners. These are all portable, right? And I do the load, and just about, you know, just about everybody anymore. You could just scan them. So your proof of delivery, your invoice, and the rate sheet. Scan it and send it to them. I used to go through boxes and envelopes and rolls of stamps. I don't anymore. Everything, I just scan it and email it to them after I deliver. They get it as soon as the load gets delivered, they get their bill. So
cool.
It makes it nice all the way around.
Yeah. So, what exactly are you hauling right now, Bob?
Right now, I'm empty. I delivered this morning down in Miami, and now I'm on my way to Orlando to pick up a load of office copiers.
Office copiers. Now you gotta have blanket wraps and all the pads and stuff to be able to do that.
Yes.
I mean, and decking, and that's what you need for that load, right?
Yes. And I've been doing these office copiers for the past year and a half. And they're a lot of work because you gotta put them on the trailer. You gotta strap them, secure them. You're responsible for any damage, and then you gotta unstrap and unpad them and push them off the trailer. But I'm getting paid well enough to do it, so I don't mind doing it.
Yeah. So, yep.
And I've got some belly boxes on the trailer where I can fold and put all my pads in the boxes and end up with an empty 53-foot trailer if I want to haul something else.
I see. So what's in store for you for the next year, Bob? I mean, you've got all your license and registrations, insurance updated.
Oh yeah. Yeah, everything comes due for me on the 16th of December. And when I was home for Thanksgiving, I went ahead and I renewed the tag on the truck and renewed my insurance. And I've been with the same insurance company now. I think this is the 9th year with the same insurance company. So, 9th year, and this will be the last year.
Bob, we need you out here, Bob. You can't quit. You can't retire. You need to contribute to the economy, Bob.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to my retirement years down there at my house in Florida and going on my cruises.
Oh,
I enjoy going on my cruises.
You on the cruise, so yeah. Everybody, if you guys, I know you guys don't know this, but Bob, he's a cruise man. He likes to go on a cruise. So how many cruises have you taken, Bob, so far? Within the 3-4 years?
I think we've done 8 or 9. I'm not sure, but we do them on Royal Caribbean, and usually go out of Port Canaveral there. But I got one on the 7th of February going to Honduras on the Vision of the Seas, a 7-day cruise, and that's out of Tampa. So,
and of course you found those discount tickets, right? I mean, you don't buy them on the spot. You look for the sweet deals before you buy it.
Yes, right. And me being retired military, this one here saved me, I don't know, $400 or $500 because it was a military rate that I got. So I got a pretty good deal on it.
But what was the best, cheapest cruise you ever been on it, Bob?
Oh, I would say this one's probably going to be it. The two of us, 7 days, with the tax, gratuity, everything. I don't know, like $1,000 or something. I booked it back 4, 5, 6 months ago, but I think it was right at close to $1,000. That's everything. So not a bad deal for 7 days.
Yeah, that's not too bad. So again, Bob, for those young guys out there, after buying the truck and trailer, you got to have that somewhere around at least of $10,000 running around money rolling, right? I mean that's the way to go, right?
That's what I would recommend. Have $10,000 put away. Any more, a tire, you go in to buy a tire is $400, and that's going in and buying it. That's not having a tire needed on the side of the road. You need a tire on the side of the road. Depending upon where you're at, it costs you $700-800 to have a tire service call out